So the mood map was trialled by myself. I thought it was a fantastic app for being able to sort of monitor advisors' mood, energy levels, particularly after hard calls, break time, lunch time. I thought it would be really good for us to kind of even out the peaks and troughs that go on throughout the advisor's day.
I found it useful because in my job I like to rant quite a lot when you get frustrations, and the mood map helped me to say that I was annoyed at something or if you got good feedback, and it helped me to track my progress throughout the day, so it was good to reflect.
So the coaching app was used by the whole email team. They found it very beneficial. I used it daily, particularly before a coaching session, just to see where what the advisor is wanting to learn, update their skills on. What we found very beneficial from it was when we trialled it on our team, the majority of the team identified that they needed upskilled in a particular area. So we managed to roll out coaching to all the advisors in this particular area, which then drove less calls in the callback queue and less repeats, which was very beneficial for both the advisor and the customer.
I used the coaching app every other day, if not daily. I thought it was a really good coaching tool. In my role, we don't always get to shout on our coaches or our managers when we need help at that moment, and throughout the day, depending on how many escalations you've got, you quite often forget what you need coaching on. So to be able to log it on that system and reflect on it at a later date was fantastic. It helped me quite a lot because my coach then could see how many coaching issues I had at the one point, and if anything was related that could be covered in one coaching session or didn't need further coaching sessions to recap. So in my view, that was a great tool.
We used the coaching app to allow the advisors to really have more of an input into their own coaching, so they're able to, during calls, if they could find that there was something that they could really benefit with some training on, they could log it there and then. So when we came to do the coaching, then it was more about where the advisors really needed that training, and we could then put together a coaching session around something the advisors could then deliver on the call for the customer. It was really good to allow the advisors to call out where they needed coaching instead of having to sit and then go through calls and actually pull this out ourselves. It also gave us a historical log of what we've done with each advisor, and even the opportunity to go back and revisit should the advisor feel that maybe they needed a little bit more training.
I found the coaching app helped my coaching sessions because my coach was well aware in advance of what she needed to take in preparation to help me in my session, rather than me shouting on her, putting her on the spot, her then having to go away and research it and then come back to me, which was double running for her, taking time out of my call time as well. So it was more smoothly run coaching sessions going forward than it was previously.
I think it would be very beneficial to BT if it was amalgamated into an existing system. At the moment, because you've got to log into a different system to log your mood, I think that's just another system an advisor doesn't really need. If it was something quick and snappy at the top of the existing system that they can just click a smiley face or however they're feeling, I think it could be very beneficial to BT.
Personally, I don't think that the mood map could be used on a wider scale. From my point of view, it was good to track my own progress and see everyone else's progress, but I wasn't getting any support from it. Although our managers could see what our moods were like, there was nothing that they could really do to come and help us at that point, because through the day they'd be checking and maybe our frustrations were early morning and we'd have moved on by that point. So for me personally and for our team, I don't think it would work. Maybe in other parts of the business it could, but for me personally it didn't work for.
Again, it could be amalgamated within a BT system, which would make it more user friendly for us. As it stands, the advisor's feedback and my feedback was it was a bit footy having to log into a secondary system to log coaching needs. If it was amalgamated into an existing system, same with the Mood app, it could be very beneficial for BT.
Also found with the tool, it was great to have a format similar to what we use in Rosetta. It would be really good if that tied into Rosetta as well, so there wasn't a duplication of work, so that could be something to work on for the future. Also notifications, if we could get email notifications, the manager is then aware right away of any issues logged. And the ability for the advisors to rate the feedback they're providing. So is it something that's really high? Is it happening on lots of calls? Is it something that's medium? Or is it something that only comes up every now and again? So it would be really good to make those improvements for the future, and I think it would really help the teams in delivering their coaching.
I think going forward, the tool is a really good tool to use for the business. My suggestion for further progress on it would be when my coach and I have completed the coaching session, I maybe see what the coach has typed up as their summary notes. That's not available at the moment. And also if there was a element to it where I could go in and see what my previous coaching sessions or my coaching requirements were, so I can recap and see if it's a recurring coaching issue that I have, and maybe the coaching session needs to be done a little bit differently to then help me improve it. So just to have access to past coaching session history would be good just to review.
In the past, our coaching kind of makeup was very much tell, and it may well have been seen by advisors that coaches were there to support and help, whereas managers were there to kind of lay down the law. However, once we went through my personal best, done some self-reflection and introduced the CI stuff, we found a different approach, and one of the quotes that came out of that was, if you tell me, I'll forget. If you teach me, I'll remember, but if you involve me, I will learn. So this tool really, for me, falls into that, where it allows the advisors to become involved in building their coaching session, and the approach that we now take as managers and coaches is very much the same. It's more of a collaborative effort towards the coaching sessions, and I think this tool builds on that.